Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very first podcast. Today we're gonna discuss about some situation in Southeast Asia that we always overlook. First of all, let me introduce myself and then my friend. So my name is Qotrunnada Nadiyah Mareta with student number 123221048 from Southeast Studies class, English language and literature. And then here I will introduce my friend.
Okay, hello, and I am Zahirah Imam with the student number 123221055, and I'm from the same class and the same program as Nada. So, Nada, today we are diving into something heartbreaking but very real in this situation. The
Okay.
exploitation of children, especially school-age kids who are working on the streets without any supervision from adults. These children are often forced to sacrifice their education and safety just to survive for their life. It's a harsh reality that many choose to ignore, but one we must confront and talk about.
Okay. So actually we chose this topic it's because it's we want to explore more than about kids that selling tissue and also kids that selling everything at traffic, but it's more like about we want to explore about poverty, broken systems, and society that kind of like accepted it as a normal thing.
Exactly, Nadia. It's about children being robbed of their right to learn, to play, and just be kids. And it really says something about how we, as a society, are handling or failing to handle these issues. When kids are left to fend for themselves
Hmm.
on the streets, it reflects deep-rooted systemic problems. It's not just a personal tragedy, it's a collective failure that demands urgent attention.
Okay, so do you have like any kind of experience?
I think I have. So I remember one afternoon when I was in Bekasi last year, I saw a boy, maybe around 8 or 9 years old. He is walking between cars at a busy intersection. He was selling tissues, tissues. He's knocking on cars' windows, and I saw no adults around the boy, and his face, it wasn't scared. It looked trained like something he had practiced over and over again. It was as if he had done it 100 times before, like it had become a routine for him.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I really familiar with that look in Surabaya also. You know that in Surabaya, in public spaces like Taman Bungkul or maybe like I would say like yeah, any kind of public space, there are so many kids that selling whether it's they selling tissue or they try to collect money towards singing, and some people may give them money but some people may ignore them. I think it's really, really awful to know that.
Yeah, I also feel what you are feeling, Nadia. These kids are our age when we first learn to read. Yeah, they should be in school, loving, struggling with
Mm,
homework,
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
hustling under the hot sun for a few thousand rupiah. They should have big dreams, not the burdens of life that are too heavy for children to carry.
Yeah, I think I agree with you because those kids were really had to have safe place, and also they have to go to school and also take educations, because I think it's like about my worriedness towards those kids. Okay, so maybe we want to move to another topic, but this is still related. So let's talk about one study. There is one study in 2022, and it's from Andi Aisa Zalika. So she explains about how many of these families use street labor as a survival strategy. So poverty forces them to force their kids to earning money. So sometimes sometimes even more they forgot about their role as adult in the family.
Oh. So it connects with this idea of household survival strategies, right? Where families, especially those in urban poverty, rely on everyone, including kids, to make ends meet. But the cost is huge. Their education, their safety, and their well-being.
Oh yeah. I also have this one knowledge. So I've read one study from Eka Novianti in 2024. It's in Bekasi. So even though the local government has a regulation, especially in mayor regulation number one of 2021. So it's set about to protect children from economic exploitation, but the reality, they do not apply this regulation, and there are still many kids are still there in poverty in kind of situation like that.
I think it's the same in Palembang. A 2022 study by VVV reported that children work as badut jalanan, like street clowns and manusia silver, painted
I know.
from head to toe, and they are dancing in traffic for tips for money. A lot of
Hmm.
times, their parents or adults around them are behind this. The kids are just tools for earn the money.
Okay, I agree with you about kids are just tool because I think this is the heartbreaking. And you know what is the most heartbreaking is when people know that it's not normal, but people still calling them lazy or annoying. I think there are many people that don't realize they are the victims in this case.
Yeah. In addition, there's also the gender side that we have to mention.
Hmm.
So girls are often forced to work on the street as well as take care of housework. They carry a double burden and sometimes also face emotional abuse or harshness while on the streets. This is a very sad and heartbreaking reality that we must know.
Okay, so maybe we have talked about the situation in Indonesia, but this is Southeast Studies. So I also want to take point of view from another Southeast Asia. It is in Cambodia, in Myanmar, and also Philippines. So we will find similar stories where people is uh, still see this problem and it's visible, and how is the visible solution unvisible the solution is, so we still do not find the solution behind this problem.
So we have the same condition in the Southeast Asia, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here, what we have learned, street child labor isn't just about poor families. It's about the gaps in law enforcement, in social awareness, and in empathy. So we are looking at a crisis that steals the future from the most vulnerable.
Okay, so as you know that we have laws, we have data, we have rules, and what we have to do now is we have to take action to implement those rules and implement action, and also we have to call so we have to synergize with communities and also with us as individuals.
Yeah, I agree with you. So the next time you see a child working on the street, don't just look away. Ask why they are there and ask what we can do, no matter how small, to make sure that they don't have to be.
Okay, I think your argument is closing today's podcast, and I think we have to face another podcast in next occasion. But I think we nail it because it's our first podcast. But we talk about many things. And thanks for joining our podcast. We hope it made you think about this problem and reflect and also even act. See you next time.
See you next time.
And until
And
then, stay aware
stay
and
aware
stay
and
kind.
stay kind. Thank you.
Thank you.